In the hyper-competitive world we call home, the 100-day pin, for skiing 100 days, is just another reminder of how insecure and competitive we all are. If there ever was a year, outside of the 1983 powder hostage season, that warranted skiing 100 days, this might be it. As I write, the mountains absorb yet another blanket of concrete topped by fluff, day 57 or so according to one of the papers. While journalists are notoriously math-challenged as a lot, perhaps having been put to sleep hearing their parents read tax manuals out loud at bedtime, the 57-day figure seems about right. Still, even in a great year, one has to ask the unaskable, is it really worth it to ski or board 100 days in a typical year? Back when I was making beds for a living, long before the 100-day pin, the $100 lift ticket and the 100 buses to everywhere, I probably skied 100 days, if what I did could even be called skiing, and without thinking or bragging on the fact. This was a ski town. You finished work as fast as you could, grabbed your $10 used skis, got on the Jelly Bean bus for the Highlands and skied about every day that wasn't a Saturday. Spent turning over the guests at the Dorma's Lodge or the Mouse House or Little Red Ski House, all now either gone or remodeled beyond recognition to a ski bum or bum skier. There wasn't a whole lot else going on. The mayor's uphill economy was a distant dream. The legendary Fritz Stamberger was the only known regular Aspen Mountain ascendant, carrying lead weights up spar in 55 minutes to toughen himself to climbing peaks in Nepal and seemingly unskiable faces on Pyramid and the Bells far from the groomed slopes. There wasn't much nightlife outside of a few bars. Most places closed even earlier than now, and the art scene was un-museum-ed and in a neonate phase. There was no rec center, no public gyms, basketball at the high school dome when available, and not much else. People went to bed early in order to be up early, riding slow or super slow chairs to the top. No one counted the days, the laps, the total vertical. For better or worse, skiing, like everything else, must compete for attention just as we compete for recognition, a little space, a place, a life amidst the big mountains and grand egos that are our landscape. We may not be Olympians, world-class billionaires, the best, the brightest, all of those live here in abundant supply, but darn if we didn't do something hard to do. 100 days of skiing, even when a lot or a majority of those days were not worth the bother. 100 day. Pinners, if they thought about it, would have to admit that a lot of days are windy, dark and cold, best spent on super buff good rumors and in the restaurants that feature food and drink of a caliber the old ski bums had no access to, day or night. The quest for 100 days can become more a chore than a celebration, much like the runners who have multi-year streaks of not having missed a day and thus are compelled to run not for fun and fitness but for numbers, even limping through a rainy, dull 5-miler to keep the streak alive. At 2, yoga masters, cyclists, hikers and fellow obsessives. Count on Sesame Street as your best friend. Aspen can impinge on even the healthiest a sense of their own inferiority and the notion that there is someone out there, bigger, better, stronger, faster or younger, who will drop you off the back in whatever competition you enter, dating, skiing, biking, working. Enough said about dating as a sport. The gold standard summary is, you don't lose your girl, boyfriend, you just lose your turn. The same may be said of your housing, your friends on powder days, your sense of self-worth. Neither wealth nor affordable housing ensures that you can keep up with the life you are supposed to be living, body, mind and spirit all world-class, all the time. The 100-day pin isn't going away any sooner than our need to compete and prove we belong here amidst the master achievers. So maybe what we need is recognition of other unremunerated achievements. How about the 100-day neighborhood snow shoveler? The author of 100 Angry Letters to the Editor. The Big Buddy, the lift-up worker, the thrift shop volunteers with 100 days of service. The 100 days without driving. The first to retrieve 100 bags of leftover dog poop on our trails or even their own Fluffy's product. The service worker putting in 100 days in a row. The candidate coming to hundreds of your doors to keep direct democracy alive in an age of fake news. All of these can be done without much money. I don't have the pins, the means and the methodology for identifying all of the categories of achievement we could recognize and all the winners within each. But I appreciate and admire them as much or more than a little piece of metal can express. Thank you all. Mick Ireland is working on 100 days of shoveling the walks and 100 bags of poop. Competition or shoveling in his neighborhood is intense, but, alas, no one other than Eric Scarvin seems to be looking for extra poo bags on Smuggler Mountain.